Setting up a camera in Blender can be as easy as going to Add, selecting Camera, and creating a linear movement for your scene. But what if I told you there are some dynamic tricks you can adjust to your scene?
As someone who has crafted tons of projects from static camera shots to fun dynamic shots, I can say that you're missing out on these cool methods. Ranging from orbit shots, shaky or random shots as they call it, and even the Superman shot or the following shot.
Once you learn these methods in Blender, you'll be able to feel more comfortable in your camera, add some cool tricks to your scenes, and eventually even make your own.
Today we'll be using movie shots as reference, which is a great way for us to achieve our goals in Blender.
Also in the end, we'll talk about a way we can combine all the tricks we learned today as a bonus for the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. So our first movie clip will be from Spider-Man 3 where he gets his black suit, and I usually like to call this a spinning shot or sometimes the pan shot.
We have this scene right here, and I have this armature down below if you want to download it, as well as the other ones I'll have included. And all I did, he's animated, so he's kind of moving like that. And I just added a cube under. I went to Add, Mesh, Cube, or you could just bring in the cube that people usually delete. But what we want to do is we want to have the object move around. We have this object right here, and we want him to spin around like that. And to get that, we want to first of all go to Add, Curve, Circle. We'll bring this right above the character right here. Press S to scale and bring the curve up a bit. And so that will be the line for our camera to be animated on. We go to Add, we go to Camera, make sure the location is 0, 0. That's very important, so just leave it there. And usually you'll think modifiers, but right here we go to Constraints. That will control the movement of our camera. So we click on Follow Path, go to Object right here, I drop the Bezier circle 001. And now our camera, if you could go right here, I usually like having a third like square here, but if you click here, right, how do we make it move? Well, first of all, you can click on Animate Path, and now it'll be moving. But it's not looking at the scene, right? So what we want to do is we want to click on Track 2, and like the same thing we did for the circle, click on the eye drop, and we'll click on the armature. And so right now it's like, oh, it's looking at the scene, but it's not really, you know, it's not showing the whole character. And to solve that easily, entities will be your best friend in a lot of projects too. Entities are really helpful. It's basically just a invisible object. You animate scenes with it. And so we'll use it on this scene. Go right here. Let me bring that down and click on the camera. And instead of doing that, instead of eye dropping on the character, we'll do on the empty. And now you can see here, it's now animated right there. And you can even move down the empty right here to play around, and you can go crazy. And now we have the scene. But one other thing I like to do is go to Bezier, go to Edit, the part where he's facing. The good thing about the Bezier is just a lot of vertices connected in the circular way. So we can move the vertices, which are the dots, and they will change the form of the camera. So now that it's animated, watch this. Now it's moving down. You can move it down a bit more. And I also want to bring that part up. The other side, we'll bring it higher. And now if we do that, now we have rotating motion, and that's exactly what we want. And you can even, let's get out object mode. You can even go to the camera, data camera, and you can increase the focal length if you maybe want to zoom in like that, or like an action scene. And that's pretty much it for the spinning shot. Pretty easy to do. I make sure you add the Bezier, add it empty to make it easier instead of your camera fighting over the character and rotating. And that's it for the spinning shot. And so let's move on to the next one.
So our next shot will be from Blair Witch, and that will be known as a random shot or the shaky shot, usually in horror movies.
And so what I have right here in our next scene, what I have is 3 characters walking at us. And all I did was just duplicate one animation I grabbed from Mixamo. And I'll include the link of the website below and the character walking in front of us right now, if you ever want to use it and check it out. And all I did was just get a cube, and I just stretched it out. I just made a little hole in it, and I went to Add. Remember, I went to Add, I went to Camera, added this camera view right here. And so right now the keyframe for these guys right here, they're moving like this. Now we will have the camera shaking. And so press I to keyframe the camera where you want it to be. In this case here, And at the end, when the animation ends, we'll have I, sorry, and go to graph editor. And we're working with the X and Y rotation. Oh, sorry. We'll be working with the X, Y, and Z location. And so if you don't see anything here, just press N and it'll show up. And this is what will allow us to have the shaking feeling. So go to add modifier, click on noise. And right now, if I were to just let it go, it'll go like crazy. Don't worry, all I gotta do is increase the scale by a certain amount. And you see it's less crazy. And the strength will be where the camera will be shaking. So I usually like having it at 0.3, 4, and so it's less, less crazy. Now we have that shaky effect for the camera. And then why Euler rotation? You don't really need to touch it. It's not necessary in this situation. But what we want is the Z. We want to click on noise, and the same thing, increase the scale, I'd say around 10, decrease the strength, and if we click play, now it look like we're scared or running away. And so let's go here, and let's go over to where we have the keyframe, or we can just go back to timeline, and let's play around. Let's move this back a little bit. Press I for keyframe, go to graph editor. Now we're slowly moving back, and it looks like we're running away or something. And just to show you what happens if you add the y-axis, if I were to use it, it would just be shaking like this, and we don't really need that much. You could use it, but it's just more simple just to, because if you add another one to equation, it makes it kind of crazy, but in my opinion, we don't really need it. So we can just press X. And now we can even move the camera back more if you want. You can increase the noise. You can even see that if we increase the noise, if we increase the noise, I basically just go by how small it is, and the less big it is, the easier it is to know how much the camera is moving.
I hope you guys are learning a lot from these tricks and methods I'm teaching you. If you have any cool tricks or movements you like yourselves or like me to talk about in the future, let me know in the comments below, leave me a like. Also, if you guys are interested, I did make a lighting tutorial and a shader plus grease pencil tutorial. So if you're interested, check it out. So our next clip isn't a movie clip, but it's from a channel called Corridor Crew, and they created the Superman shot, which I'll link below, so check it out.
And I guess you realize my hair kind of looks like Superman, so let's hide my identity. And so the next part, what we're gonna do, we have this model I download from Mixamo, will be in the description below if you want to use it. So we'll bring him in. So the model is just looking like this, so it'll just straight up like that. And what we want to do is add the camera. Add the camera. Where's the camera? And then we want to go to view so we can see where the camera is. Set active object as camera, and we'll click right here so we know where the camera is. Let's go to X. Let's go to Z to be on the top view. We'll bring it close to your object. Bring it down like that. And I got rid of the head because all you gotta do if you want to see how I got rid of the head is you go to edit, go right here, and all I gotta do is press L so it selects the objects are kind of closed off by the blue lines. Or when you go to Mixamo, it has different parts. So it had like the chest, the legs, and all I did was press the head and it glowed up. And all you gotta do is press L, X to delete, and do faces. And it's simple as that. But we want the chest part, so it's all good. So okay, we're on F, and now we can adjust the camera. And let's see. Okay, we can change the focal length. Maybe they changed it a bit. Maybe decrease. And let's go ahead and change the position of the arms a bit. Go R, rotate, Z to rotate right here. Let's rotate a bit. Okay, all right. And now we are set. Oh, make sure you press the camera. Click on the model. Click on the model, not the rig. The parents, object, and now that's rigged, we can move the camera, and now it will look like it's following Superman or the camera part. And so what I did here was rig, I keyframe the model, you'll see why. And now we can there's one way of doing it. You can just move the character, move him up, rotate it, say like that. Oh, it's bad. Make sure when you move it, make sure you move on the timeline when you're moving the character so it won't overwrite the keyframe you did. And at this point, it's just rotating it to your liking. Okay. Just move him down. Okay, that should be better now. Okay, now we have the character moving. and that's great and all. But what we learned from the last shot is the noise. So we're gonna use the noise in this method right here. I'll go to rotation. We click on noise, increase the scale of the noise, just so it doesn't look like it's stiff in the air. You can then play around with that. Do the Z, increase the scale, decrease it by a little bit. And then the Z, the Y-axis, we can also play around with that because we're flying. So we can make it a bit more crazy or just more like dynamic. So if we decrease it, oh, it looks pretty good as flying. And at that point, you can just customize it and change it to your own. And just one thing that we can do, let's go back to the timeline and let's move the arms a little bit. Look kind of stiff, right? We want to make it look like arms are moving. So that, and then move this guy. Doesn't look the best, but as long as they're moving, that's what's matter. What's what matters. It matters the most as long as the arm is moving. It looks really bad, but you get my idea. And that'll be it for the Superman shot. And then if you go out, it's just what it looks like. It's just flying up. And now you can pretend you have a drone and you're Superman. And that'll be it for this third shot. Now that we have all these concepts applied to our scene, now we will combine them in a way like I said before, which will be through markers. And now that we have our first scene, we can go ahead. I have all 3 scenes right here ready to be shown. Go to view, click camera to active object camera. Let's click on the camera and then click on marker. This will be the first shot that will be shown. And so we want to go to the end of the animation. And so right here, and let's get to the shaky cam shot, which is, let me get it right here. We want to, same thing I did before, go to the camera marker, find camera to marker. And so now right where this marker is, it'll switch to the other camera. And so as you can see, the first shot is where he's going around him, perfect. And the second one will be the zombie-like characters walking towards us. And next we will have the Superman shot. So let's click on the camera. And I think we're good right here. Kind of goofy, but that will do. And we'll click to bind camera. And let's see, we have the first scene, the second shot. Sorry, let me go here, it's faster. Second shot, let's move this a little bit, add a bit more. We have, let me see. Okay, that'll do. And then we have the Superman shot where he's flying. I made a little adjustments to the arm, so it's kind of stiff, but it would be moving. And so now we have the 3 shots, perfect, second one, and the third. And through this, you'll be able to make your own little shorts, little shots together, combined together, just through the markers. As long as you go to the marker, find camera in the markers, click on the one you want to do. And you can also just add a marker and you can just click on the same. You can click on the camera and assign the camera to a marker. And that'll be it for this method and the 3 other shots.
And I know there was a lot to learn in this. Blender can be pretty overwhelming. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I can improve on. In the meantime, while I keep making these tutorials and 3D related stuff, I have been making a lot of Pokemon animated scenes from shorts. Those take a short amount of time to do these. But yeah, stay tuned. I also stream some art, maybe some games on the side just for fun. Yeah, but thanks for checking out this video, guys. I appreciate it. I hope it's really helpful. And I'll see you guys in the next one.